To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Everyone, Commissioners Conference, September 27, 2022. Thanks, Jeff. Any unfinished business or correspondence, Karen?
Nothing.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
We are looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting dated September 13th, 2022 as presented. So, second. You call for a vote, please.
Mr. Flowers.
Yes.
Mr. North.
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro.
Yes. We're looking for a motion to approve invoices in the amount of $783,867.68 for the period September 14th through September 23rd, 2022. Second. Thank you. Call for a vote, please.
Mr. Flowers.
Yes.
Mr. North.
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro.
Yes. We are looking for a motion that the actual gross payroll in the amount of $273,346.76 be approved for payment for the period August 28th through September 10th, 2022. So moved. Second. Thank you. Call for vote, please.
Mr. Flowers.
Yes.
Mr. North.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes. We're looking for a motion to accept the resignation of Jolene Hartle from the Hotel Tax Committee with regret. So moved. Second. Thank you. Call for a vote, please.
Mr. Flowers.
Yes.
Mr. North.
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro.
Yes. We're looking for a motion to appoint Jamie Popson of Brookfield to the Hotel Tax Committee. To the Hotel Tax Committee, fill the vacancy created by Mrs. Second. Call for a vote on that, please.
Mr. Flowers.
Yes.
Mr. North.
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro.
We are looking for a motion to add First Commonwealth Bank as a depository for Jefferson County money. So moved. Second. Thank you. And Moon.
I think that needs worded a little different. They are already a depository. We do that every December for the next year.
Okay.
It's to allow the new account for the sinking fund checking account to be opened up. It's just that the commissioners authorize the signers and stuff on the account. It has to go through, commissioners meeting for a resolution, so the bank has that.
Okay.
Because technically, they do the resolution system is because I as a signer or you guys as signers, which you'd be signers on this one, it's not your money or my money, it's the county's money. And you guys as the Board of Commissioners are authorizing that us as signers can be on that account to sign. So
you can work with Karen and get the verbiage right.
yeah. Because they are already a depositor. We do that every December. We do that for the next year. They're already on that depository list.
We have any timeline problems that this could be addressed at the next meeting?
I don't think anything major.
Okay. So what we'll do instead of coming up with new verbiage now, we'll just table this then to the next
No problem.
meeting. Okay. Thank you.
I could withdraw.
Okay.
So you're making a motion to go.
I just, I'll just withdraw.
Okay. All right. So we need to vote on that.
Yes.
Okay. So
Well, by computer.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, you just table it till the next meeting.
It's done.
all right. Okay. At this time, we have an announcement that we want to share here. Military Share food box is coming to Jefferson County residents. Press, had you guys seen this before? Okay, you had. So when caring hearts come together for the greater good, amazing things happen, just like in the case of the Military Share program. The distribution is for a military member or household with at least one member that has served in the military. 2 members of the Jefferson County Shelter Task Force, including Tanya Krasbowski of Jefferson County Housing Authority, started brainstorming of where and how to get the military share program locally for our county's military personnel and veterans. Having many variables to factor in, naturally they reached out to the Jefferson County Veterans Affairs Director, David Wright. The biggest player of the team is Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwest Pennsylvania. Jerry Weiss, Director of Network Relations, has been instrumental in making the process very organized and possible. Having a motivated team assembled, they set out to look for a venue adequate to have a drive-through style pickup location for food boxes for the military eligible for such a program. All the while keeping in mind the venue must accommodate the tractor trailer bringing the supplies and not cause any traffic backup or accidents. Cindy Plimer, Agency Relationship Coordinator of Second Harvest, spent the day with the team visiting sites for the perfect fit for the location. Once the location was decided on, there were many logics to be ironed out, such as delivery dates, volunteers needed, time of distribution, and so on. Knowing the weather is never predictable, rain, snow, or whatever Mother Nature gives us, we need to have a plan to have volunteers, stated Jerry. The team would need at least 12 to 15 volunteers each distribution. Military Share, a Produce Express program for the Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwest Pennsylvania, is designed to provide fresh, nutritious foods for families with at least one member who has served in the armed forces. Military Share is funded exclusively by donations. While request to include specific items, any distribution may impact the cost, you can sponsor a military family for just $15. To learn how you or your organization can sponsor a military share distribution in your community, please contact Manager of Programs Jerry Weiss by email or by phone. So we was fortunate enough to go out and meet with Dave, Tanya, Cindy at the fairgrounds and with Dave, and it's going to be something that I think we've all had hoped that could be organized and brought here. So Scott, Jeff, you guys, whatever you'd like to add, would be just awesome.
Well, the only thing I have to offer is to extend my gratitude to Second Harvest for including Jefferson County and making this kind of assistance available to our veterans.
Yeah, and hopefully our veterans, they get word of this and they take advantage of it. I think it's 120, am I right?
Planning
For
purposes.
planning purposes. So,
And October 6th is that date. I don't see that on here. But October 6th. Yeah, the time of distribution is 3 p.m. and it's October 6th at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. And I have copies for you, the press there.
Oh, okay, yes.
Okay,
Thanks.
and I think the three of us plan on being there for the first one anyway.
we do. Absolutely.
Interesting. Unfortunately, but they're always invited.
Yeah, it's a volunteer team.
So looking for other public comments. Moon, do you want to update us on how your license all went? That's over and with now.
Matters not totally over. There are still, I'd have to look, I didn't look the exact number this morning, but just, I think, under 1,000 2E licenses left as far as what's in Jefferson County. We're still doing a few every day. This year we are way up. We're up almost, I think Renee said, just pushing 14,000 licenses this year. So we're up again. Every year we're raising that number, and it works out nice. We're getting it done. This year with the new arrangements downstairs, it was a little bit of a thing how to get the flow working through and everything. We got that done, and when the over-the-counter day on September 12th went through, it worked out great. We just swing people around in the back hallway and bring them through, and we had everybody in our line done and everything by 10 o'clock, and they didn't sell out till, well, it was around 12, I think it was 12:32 on the paper. So we was able to get anybody in who was in, got their licenses, so it worked out very well.
All right, this time we will take questions from the press.
What do you think if you're selling so many more licenses, because people haven't been buying double licenses, and they are
Well,
intro-list licenses, whatever you want to call them.
the thing is with the 2E, this is my observations, okay? 2E, a touch of 4C, and, oh gosh, what's the other? 2D, I guess, is down in that direction too. But you're into the major section of the CWD zone down in there. And they throw out a pile of the CWD DMAP tags again. And that's, there's an absorption point, it's just what there is. There's an absorption point there. So I think that's why it's a lot slower selling out down there with the 2Ds, especially this year. I mean, the zone down there, up here, we've been very fortunate so far. We get one, maybe two a year that they find positive cases. In that section down there along that ridge, you're getting over 200 a year. It's really, really a hotbed down in there, and it's very close to our zone. So, I mean, time is it's going to be here, but in those zones, everything that they're trying to do to combat that, it changes the dynamics of who wants a license and who doesn't. Like I say, there's an absorption point. Holy heck, there has to be as many as they're throwing out down there.
You have nothing to do with this, but it seems like to me there's lots of go out there running around in our
Are
backyards.
you saying I'm a bad shot?
I'm not saying that. I didn't hear you're too busy cutting up stuff.
Yeah.
You actually go out and shoot it.
Yeah. Yeah, there seems to be this year, talking to the public, our own observations, there seems to be a lot of deer this year. There does seem to be a lot of deer this year. I mean, I remember.
Tried to tell me that there isn't, that there's a shortage. I'm like, really? How can you say that?
I know 20 years ago, whatever it was, before they had the big push off, coming home the 4th of July week from Punxsutawney, from Route 36 to our house, we would just off the headlights, okay, not spotting, just off the headlights, we would see 40 to 50 deer, 40, 45 deer every night. This last year, we were getting up to 35 deer again. Yeah, we hit 35 in one night. And I mean, we were down there for a few years. You might have saw 6 or 8, 8 or 10. It's starting, that number seems to be climbing back up again, but there's lots of deer.
Depositories and that, does every municipality try to include all their banks? And of course, I mean, here you have a whole county.
Yeah, the county,
banks,
the county here pretty much, their general rule has been in the past to try to use local. Try to, work with local. Now, there's a few, the M&T Bank and sometimes the PNC Bank, when there were bond deals and, things like that going, that you just have to have a bigger, bigger bank to be able to do that kind of job. But for the most part, yeah, we've always tried to, to keep it fairly local. The banks have a footprint in Jefferson County.
How come you're changing your domain? That's what it says here. It's .gov.
.gov is more secure than .com. And that's kind of a push through all counties, through the whole state.
Yeah, because that's not, .gov's not a new thing.
No.
It's just start. But yeah, I always think of .com as like business or whatever.
Do you guys have any idea yet when that's gonna get rolled out? Lately or no?
Phase it in for a period of time, because among other things, it changes everyone's email address. So, you know,
Right.
some of your email addresses are connected to various organizations, so it's gonna take a while to retire that.
Do you know, it's other municipalities or counties doing the same thing, or already have done it, or, I know I've seen .gov, but I don't recall who has it.
I don't know if they're doing it, Larry, but I've heard, especially recently, more advice to do so. It's their choice, of course.
Most of the state stuff is .gov. And a lot of the counties are .gov. Have been for a while.
Well, look at what the school districts have, a whole bunch of dots, .pa, .us, whatever. On it. There is a ton of them. Anything else, Alex?
I tried real hard to think of some questions. I'm still stuck on your purple questions from earlier.
Okay, if there's no other questions, we will look for a motion that the meeting be adjourned. So. We call for vote, please.
Mr. Bull?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Sargent?
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
Make this meeting into something